Nigerian today is like navigating a relentless storm. Each day seems to bring a fresh wave of challenges. One moment, the national grid collapses, plaguing millions into darkness. The next, inflation bites harder, leaving families scrambling to afford basic amenities. And then the scepter of insecurity looms, with unknown gunmen striking fear into communities. For the average Nigerian, life feels like a constant battle against adversity. In the midst of this turbulent reality, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave his words that the manifestation of his policy will be seen in 2025 in a statement he recently issued. With many Nigerians eagerly anticipating to see that change and what the current administration have to offer amidst what many consider the toughest period for Nigeria since the return to democracy in 1999.
We used to sell this shoe 1,015 because that time dollars is down. But now dollars don't go up. To sell this shoe now 5,000.
In 2010.
In 2010, I bought my vehicle for 350,000 naira. I went back to the dealer in 2024 and it now costs 3.3 million naira.
3.3 million.
We are hungry. Even the food traders are tired. There is no profit.
Food like gari or bread were considered to be food for poor people. But now the price has become so exorbitant that they become food for the rich.
I have removed spaghetti since a pack is about 1,200 naira and I have 8 children. And to cook a meal of spaghetti, I will need to buy 8 or 9 and it will not even be sufficient for us.
This has come a while after the president confidently awarded himself a pass mark for his efforts so far. His words landed in a country burdened by deep frustration and mounting despair. For many Nigerians, the president's self-assessment contrasts starkly with their lived experiences. The removal of fuel subsidy has led to skyrocketing transportation and food costs, with inflation reaching historic level. The naira depreciation continued to erode purchasing power, making survival a daily struggle for ordinary citizens. Public infrastructure remain in shambles and power outages persist, paralyzing businesses and households alike. A few days ago, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, challenged the government to travel less out of the country and more across the country, saying the president spent 30% or more abroad. Please take a look.
My appeal is that you dedicate 20% of 2025, roughly 72 days, to visit each of the 36 states for 2 days each. As a president, such visit will give you opportunity to better understand their economic and security situations across the country. It is time you visit our national hospitals and health facilities. You may consider, for example, that your next medical examination be conducted in one of our national hospitals or regional federal medical centers, such as FMC in Sokoto, Birnin Kebbi, Calabar, Umuahia, Akure, among others.
Furthermore, Mr. Peter Obi has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intensify efforts in combating corruption within the public service. Obi urged the president to conduct thorough investigations into the case of missing or stolen funds and ensure their recovery rather than sweeping corruption issues under the carpet. He also emphasized the needs for increased transparency and accountability in public procurement and contract award process, stressing that eliminating corruption is key to restoring public trust and driving national progress. While President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has acknowledged the severe hardship Nigerians are enduring, he highlighted the progress his administration claims to have achieved in addressing these challenges. However, Obi's remark have sparked a fresh wave of controversy, with the ruling All Progressive Congress, the APC, through its publicity secretary, Felix Moka, accused Obi of misrepresenting the president's achievement over the past 18 months. Furthermore, the National Publicity Secretary, Moka, allegedly stated that Obi has crossed the line so many times and he has what's coming to him. A comment deemed a direct threat to Obi's life and a signal of Nigeria's descent into authoritarianism.
It was just wrong. It was wrong, totally misled, and almost intentionally misleading, trying to get Nigerians to believe what is not. Now, I am sure that even those who are listening to Mr. Obi, the Nigerians who listen to him, would disagree substantially with his assessment of the state of address of the country. Now, whatever sector you may wish to look at, the country is rebounding in significant measure. There's no question about that. Yes, things were rough, at the beginning, but the roughness didn't start with this administration. As a matter of fact, the reform that Mr. B was, speaking to were, initiated to correct and radically reposition Nigeria for prosperity. Because, when this government came in, things were just not right. But the president took very hard look at the state of affairs and decided to, enunciate very bold policies to radically transform our economic life. Now, 18 months later, we are seeing the results of that. So right now, I think the conversation shouldn't be about whether or not those decisions were right or wrong. We should be looking at what is now the obvious, emerging impact, outcomes of these policies.
The obedient movement demands answers to what line Obi crossed and who drew that line, emphasizing that the Nigerian constitution guarantees freedom of expression and protection of life. They urge Nigerians and the international community to hold the government accountable for any harm that may befall Obi or his associate. The movement has strongly condemned the All Progressive Congress for threatening the life of Mr. Peter Obi. Similarly, Atiku Abubakar, the People's Democratic Party candidate, has also condemned Moka's statement, warning of a growing authoritarianism in Nigeria. Posted on his recent X handle, Atiku highlighted the danger the statement holds. The inflammatory remarks issued by Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Felix Moka, directed at Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last general election, serve as a disturbing emblem of the current administration's unsettling strategy in addressing opposition's figure. He said, these threats against Obi, coupled with the prolonged detention of Mahdi Shehu, a prominent voice of dissent, and others, signal a worrisome shift toward an authoritarian governance model, where the rights of opposition voices are being suffocated. The choice of words used by APC spokesman, particularly the anonymous suggestion that Obi has crossed the line, reveal an alarming disdain for democratic principles. Such languages, rooted in hostility, has no place in a free society where civil discourse and engagement should reign supreme, Atiku added. A true democracy thrives on the healthy exchange of ideas, where the criticism and contributions of opposition leaders like Peter Obi are seen as vital for the betterment of governance and the promotion of public accountability. This political clash comes at a time when Nigerians are grappling with widespread economic challenges, including inflation, unemployment, and insecurity. For many, the demand for transparency, accountability, and effective governance remain a pressing issue, fueling debates about the best paths forward for the country. As the ruling party defend its record, opposition voice like Obi's continue to highlight the gaps, pushing for reforms that prioritize the welfare of the people over political interests. With the unrelenting insecurity from banditry in the north to kidnappings and armed robbery across the country, safety feel like an elusive luxury. Nigerians, especially in rural areas, live in constant fear, upon feeling abandoned by the very system meant to protect them. The president's remark, while optimistic, failed to resonate with a populace yearning for tangible relief. Ask any Nigerian what they want most, and the answer is almost unanimous: the end to the hardship. The people want to see not just promises, but concrete actions that address their daily struggles. Affordable food, steady electricity, improved security, and a fairer economy that give everyone a fighting chance. In this climate of discontent, the call for visionary leadership has never been louder. Nigerians are desperate for government that doesn't just acknowledge their pains, but actively works to ease them, restoring hope in a country so rich in potential, yet so often marred by mismanagement and neglect. We would like to conclude this program by celebrating the spirit of democracy, exemplified by the Ghanaians, as the inauguration of Ghana's newly elected leader, John Mahama, took place yesterday. The ceremony was honored by presence of numerous African leaders, highlighting the continent's commitment to unity and governance. Notably, Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, received the most enthusiastic applause from the crowd, while ongoing Nana Akufo-Addo faced pointed criticism from a legislature. Take a look.
We have come to the end of the road for what has been undoubtedly the worst government under the Fourth Republic. Honourable Speaker, this abysmal record was confirmed on December 7th when the people of Ghana returned the most overwhelming and emphatic vote of rejection of any government ever witnessed under the Fourth Republic. Mr. President, you will be remembered as the first president who was cushioned by the IMF when you began, and you are still being cushioned at the end of your term. Mr. President, you left something very important in your account. You left out an account of your promise to God to build him a cathedral. But Mr. President, Mr. President, I will leave that for you, between you and your God. Mr. President, let me remind His Excellency, Honourable Speaker, that his tenure in office will remain a timely reminder of how not to govern the country.
One can only hope that Nigerian legislators find the courage to do the same. With that, we come to the end. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Politics Today on Diaspora Digital Media. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get alerted when we drop a new video. Stay tuned for more insightful discussion, expert analysis, and compelling stories. I am Ibrahim Umar Wase. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.